Okay. You're sitting at your desk, trying to finish your health project that's due tomorrow, and you're having a great time filling in your block letters to your title. When you shift the paper closer to you as you move on to the next letter, you realize that the marker has seeped through your paper onto your favorite desk. You scramble, you get rubbing alcohol, you try and rub it off with your shirt, soap and water, anything, quickly as possible and quietly as possible before your parents find out your panic and come into your room to see what you've done. When doing class projects, colored pencils are the best to use. First, colored pencils are neat. Second, there are many different color choices and you have a lot of artistic freedom with them. And third, they are versatile. Colored pencils are neat. Have you ever gotten pencil on your shirt, stained your skin? Has a colored pencil ever leaked through your paper with their ink? Yes, colored pencils can prick and break, though I've never seen a mutant colored pencil that decides to smudge all over your paper after you brush it lightly with your side palm trying to color in your next spot, like a crayon would. Washable, non-toxic, dry away, sayings that have never been used to market colored pencils because we know that colored pencils will never stain your shirt and that you wouldn't have to buy a new and improved Tide stain eraser to get it off because we know it will never be there in the first place. Whenever you teach your class to highlight something on text and you kind of lent your highlighter to your friend last period who didn't give it back to you, go for a colored pencil. Highlighting with a marker and your marker has seeped through your paper onto the double-sided text on the other side of the paper because your teacher is trying to be eco-friendly. Highlight with the crayon and the greasy, waxy textures clump together and smudge all over your paper. Highlight with a colored pencil and you get the crayon, you get the color, the brightness, and the standout that a highlighter would give you. Second, colored pencils are provided with flexibility in your color use. Mix colors together, shade light to dark, shade light and dark, hard lead, thin lead, layering, stippling, cross-hatching. You can always make your own colors and concentration of a color using colored pencils. Thirdly, colored pencils are versatile. Take a coin and stick a piece of paper on top and color it over lightly with a colored pencil. You now have an imprint of a coin on your piece of paper in purple. A man named Peter Brown was able to take colored pencils and make a ring using them. He took 11 colored pencils and stacked them and glued them together in 2 rows tightly. He let that dry and drilled in a hole the size of his finger. He cut off the excess wood and began to cut and smoothen his creation into a ring shape. Polished and lacquered, he has now created a colored pencil ring as shown in this picture. So this is his ring and this is what he started off with. Scrolling on Pinterest, you can find so many different crafts using the colored pencils themselves instead of using the color that they do provide. Make a colored pencil holder. Cut the colored pencils in half and stack them together to form letters. Make a bracelet. Raise your hand if you've ever gotten stains in between your fingers when you don't remember putting the soft, flexible felt tip there. Raise your hand if you've colored one section over one too many with a marker so that the paper gives up and gets all soggy and rips. Raise your hand if you've ever heard someone say you can get high off Sharpies. Well, on the Teens Against Drug Abuse American Government's website, Sharpies are an inhalant and do give you some effects that alcohol. Slurred speech, dizziness, and lack of coordination can all be from one Sharpie. All can be from a marker. So we've all been there with markers and colored pencils when doing class projects, filling in your title, or quickly coloring in your Spanish story illustration. Now you know to use colored pencils in your situations that are gratefully provided to you. Neat, an endless supply of color and variety, and versatile.